If you've ever had that crusty separation under your eyes, we are going to get rid of that. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be going over how to get perfect, flawless under eyes. It's a little bit tricky because we have different age variables, right? We have dry under eyes, we have more wrinkly under eyes, youthful under eyes, we have deep, dark circles under our eyes. I'm gonna show you in this video how to cover them up the right way. We're gonna cover it up with some concealer and do our absolute best. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I just wanna show you all my favorite tips and tricks. I'm gonna just do my normal makeup routine and not bore you with that since we're just gonna be talking about our under eyes. Makeup base is done. Now we're going to apply the concealer. First, I'm gonna tell you guys what concealers I don't recommend for you. Obviously, I feel like if you're watching this video, you're somebody with dark, deep, hollowed out under eyes who really just wants to cover them. Maybe they're dry, maybe they're wrinkly, maybe your concealer separates and you don't know why. Let me show you a couple of my favorite concealers as well as the ones I don't recommend for you. People think that finding a concealer that's too light for you brightens your under eyes, but what it actually does is it brings attention to your under eyes and just makes it look almost white. So finding a color that has more of a salmony undertone rather than a lighter undertones. Two examples. I have a concealer here that is too fair for me, and then I have a concealer here that more so matches my color. This concealer here is too light for my skin tone, and this one matches my skin tone pretty well. You want to find one that almost matches your skin tone, maybe a hair lighter and maybe a hair on the salmon side. The undertone of a pink salmony color is going to color correct and cancel out any of that dark purple we have going on. So number one, pick the right tone for you. You want it to pretty much match your skin tone, have a salmony undertone. Step number two is to make sure that your concealer is a little bit more in the medium world of coverage. We don't want a concealer that is too lightweight or too minimal, especially if you want to cover them up, because then what happens is we have to apply way too much, layers and layers and layers of concealer. And then in order to keep it from creasing and our wrinkles and fine lines, we need to add powder. And especially for people with dry, wrinkly under eyes, adding powder to that area is only going to make it look more dry, more separated, more piecey. So we want to make sure that we're finding a medium coverage concealer with the salmony undertone that's not too light. Those are the main mistakes I feel like people make. I love to find a concealer that says creaseless, that isn't too drying. So you need to test them out. Some concealers that friends of mine absolutely love, the Haus Labs concealer, for example. My friends love the Haus Labs concealer. It does not look good on me. It just doesn't. And I don't know what it is about it, but on me, it does not look good. I also don't love the Hourglass concealer. I feel like those are the ones that are like people's holy grail, couldn't live without concealer. Instead, I have three to share with you that are my top holy grail best concealers that are on the market. My favorite concealer for everyday wear, light to medium coverage, does the job really well, is the Kosas concealer. This one is in 2.5C. So I always put my concealer in this inner corner. If you want to, you can do this whole flick out situation, but not really necessary. I feel like this is all the amount of concealer that you need. You should not need that much. I love using a brush. You can use your finger, your ring finger, because it's the smoothest and softest pad on all of your fingers, or you can use a brush. I love using a brush, and this one is my favorite. This is the Nikki LaRose BK Beauty collaboration brush N16. Instead of smearing it around really quickly, I just pat it where I have darker under eyes. The reason I also like to use medium coverage concealer, again, you don't need to use that much of it. So I'll almost put it on the back of my hand like this, go into the product, and then on my eyes. That is my favorite way to apply concealer. Dab it on with a brush, be very direct with where you want the product. I will even use my ring finger and just blend that edge into the rest of my makeup. I then top my concealer right around here with blush so that it all is seamless. Over here, I want to do it incorrectly, which is still with a brush. I'm going to smear it around. And then I even see people sometimes just kind of like go like this. And I don't want to be too dramatic about it. I just want to show you what happens. So I smeared it around. I blended it to the best of my ability. And although it's not a huge difference probably in camera, this side does look a little uneven. It's going to have smear lines. It's going to separate because you didn't press it into your pores. There's a lot that has to do with your skin being as if it's a sponge, where when you put product on top of it, it should go into the divots. So if you swipe it over top, not only is it going to sit on top, it's also going to separate and not look good. And then I always bring the remainder bit on my lid because I have, as you can see, the redness on my eyes. So that was the Kosas concealer. It's a non-toxic clean concealer. It's one of my favorites. It's been in my collection now. I use it all the time. I have one in my car, I have one in my house. It is a great option for a non-toxic clean concealer. I'm gonna show you a bunch of different methods in this video, my favorite ways to do things. You can pick and choose and try different things because we're all so different, and what works for me might not work for you. I might not use powder someday. You might use powder every single day. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt and apply it to your normal routine, test all the different suggestions and see what works for you. A secret weapon tool that I have is a dry Q-tip, and I have a little jar here on my desk that I just reach for and use my Q-tips. This one specifically is pretty good at not creasing, so just keep that in mind. But anywhere I start to crease, I will just wipe it down with my Q-tip, and then even with my ring finger, I'll just like press it out. But you do not see where I took it off, and then I do it again under my eyes. When you smile, also kind of like find those fine lines and just get rid of the product. Piling more layers on, piling more powder on is why it separates. You can use an eye cream if you want. I find that it's a little bit tricky because some eye creams that I have do start to pill, so I don't really wear an eye cream daytime, morning. If you have one that you love that works really well with your makeup, please use it, but I find sometimes that I just don't need it, or I'll just put my daily moisturizer or SPF like kind of up in that area and it does what it needs to do. You can start to see where it starts to crease, and you can just take away a little bit of that product and then you're good to go. Now, if you want to set your under eyes with powder, I have my favorite one that I talk about the most, probably. It's my favorite because it's talc free, it's very lightweight, it's not cakey at all, it's easy to control. I wish I had a pressed powder version of this because it's even easier and on the go. I love the Fenty one if you are looking for more of a pressed option, but this is in Fair Pink, and I find that the pink, especially on my tone, just mutes everything really nicely. Another favorite brush for the powder is the Nikki LaRose N14 brush. I just go into the powder, dab like this, back my hand, flicking it off, because the brush just needs to have a little dusting on it, not like a ton. And I do this not during the day, but sometimes when I'm going to be out and about forever, or even like a night event or something where I want to look a little bit more polished and make sure it doesn't crease or go anywhere, I will press this in under the eyes. And if you find that your concealer that you already have at home that you want to try these techniques with creases a lot, this is a really good way to keep it lasting all day. And another way to bring back powder if you happen to over powder, if it looks really dry and cakey, is to use a setting spray. You can really just use any setting spray that has like a rehydrating mist. So this one's from Rare Beauty. And you are good to go. And your under eyes should start to have some life put back into it, and they shouldn't be as dry and crusty. And now I'm just gonna take off that concealer and show you my next option. One that is too light under my eyes and one that matches. It's obviously way too light for me, so we're just gonna blend it in like normal, and I want you to be able to see why I say this is not a good concealer. Because it's not my color, it just brings so much attention to my under eyes instead of getting rid of the darkness, right? Like, we don't necessarily want to look triangle bright. That's like so 2010. We want to bring out our eyes in a really nice way versus highlight this whole triangle. There was a time when people were putting the concealer all the way down here and all the way up here, and it just looked crazy. On this eye, I'm gonna be using the Natasha Denona concealer. This is an N6. Love this one. I put it on the back of my hand. It's kind of one of my favorite ways to apply this concealer. It is self-setting, meaning you don't need to add powder if you don't want to. Obviously, it will still crease. I feel like almost all concealers crease. So again, that Q-tip method is a really good way to get rid of some of that excess product without adding more stuff on top. So dabbing in on the back of my hand really gently, and then just placing it where I want. This is the most flawless way to apply. On the back of the hand, dab it in under the eye where you want it to be. No excess. I find that you have the most problems when you go straight into the eye, especially with this concealer, because it is a medium to full coverage. And I feel like if you're going to do this with a ton of product already on, it becomes really separated and really piecey, because there's people who really hate this concealer, and I understand why, and I think it's because you're not applying it correctly. So as you can see on the two different sides of my eyes, it's not too dramatic. I hope you can tell. I really don't want this to be an unrealistic comparison. I want it to be real. This side of my face, it just looks like I don't have any darkness under my eyes. This side of my face just looks like I have a highlighter under my eyes. I'm gonna set it so you can see what it would look like if it had a lot of powder on it when I smile. So that is way too much powder under my eyes. And as the day progresses, this is going to kind of like separate because I put too much powder on. And if you were looking at my skin really closely, you would see, I mean, it does look pretty flawless because I love that powder so much, but as the day progresses, you're gonna be able to see some separation and pieciness, and it might just look a little bit messy. So I'm gonna remove this because I now look pretty crazy. It almost makes my under eyes just look worse and dry and tired and like drab. We want them to look hydrated and moisturized, not like dry and crusty and cakey. I also find that using a color corrector, although great, and I've talked about it before, I love the one from It Cosmetics just to correct some of that redness. And I like it, but then when you go to add concealer or add powder, it does really separate. And I'm gonna just avoid going there and just give you a one-stop shop product that I find works really, really well. The Kosas, like I said, is pretty foolproof. Can't go wrong. I feel like it's great for everyone. But the favorite, the one I use the most, my favorite concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape. I was using it back when it came out. It was like an Ulta exclusive. It still is a light medium sand concealer. This is if I'm going to just have an everyday flawless under eye look. So here's what I do. I never go in under the eyes directly. I go in on the back of my hand with this is as much as I am going to use for my under eyes. Again, with my Nikki LaRose brush, picking up a small amount and making sure it's blended instead of globbing it on and globbing it under my eyes. We want to keep the amount of product there very minimal and layer on if we need to. Underneath my dark circles, as you can see already, compared to this side, it is already looking so much better. This concealer does not claim to be creaseless or self-setting, but I do have to say it is hydrating. You can see it does not catch a ton of light. Like it does do exactly what I want it to. And as you can see already, the darkness on this side is basically gone compared to this side. Dabbing it in and feathering it up onto my under eye. I don't like to put a ton of product in this area, just enough to cover it. Again, why we use a full coverage concealer so that we don't need to put a ton of product in order to cover that area. Taking minimal amounts of products, good quality products, and not having to overdo it is key. Use that dry Q-tip after you're done with your makeup when everything starts to settle. See where you're starting to crease up. And honestly, throughout the day, I just look in a mirror and just make sure I'm not creasing anywhere, but this concealer is the best one I have found for creasing. Then after my concealer is when I do my blush. The little multi-stick from Dibs. This side is bronzer, this side is blush, and the colors are just so pretty. Always go to the back of the hand. Makeup by Mario dual-ended brush. This is the F4 brush. I'm gonna add some of that blush, and it's a very creamy, but not like overly dewy, wet blush. So it's really easy to control. I feel like it's perfect for beginners and it's good for all ages and it lasts a really long time actually. And the reason I use blush after concealer is because you can kind of like put it up into this area right here, which is where you want to put your concealer. So this way it just kind of makes the concealer disappear onto the face. and then we can put the cream blush on top and bring back some life. And that is my makeup. I've just added some mascara, just spritz it down. My Rare Beauty, this is the Always in Optimus setting spray, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or got something out of it. There's so many ways that a concealer can be wrong for you, so just test it out. If you find that yours just looks bad, maybe you just need a new one. Maybe it expired. Maybe it's the chemistry with your skin. Skincare doesn't work for everyone, so why would every type of makeup work for everyone? You know what I mean? Try different ones, see which ones work for you. I hope this video helped you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I want to see you guys not looking tired and not insecure about your under eyes. If this video helped you at all, please hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. It really helps and motivates me to make more videos, because sometimes if I don't get any feedback, I'm like, what am I doing? So it really helps motivate me to make more content. Also, if you have any video suggestions, as always, until the next one.